Yeah, when I first saw it, two things came to my mind. The first was that this letter was going to generate the kind of controversy that is generating, considering the fact that elections, have just been over, and then secondly, that the Endsars albatross is something that will not go away in a hurry, and so, people are going to bring it up at every turn. And then secondly, one of commendation that the Lagos State government, I was shocked that the Lagos State government, even though I had expected, the content of the letter to be more explanatory, but I was shocked that the Lagos State government, had a procurement process, because I have followed closely procurement processes right from the federal government to the state level, and I discovered that not many states in Nigeria have procurement procedures, just like you have the Bureau of Public Procurement. Most procurement, federal government procurement transactions must pass through the Bureau of Public Procurement for certification and letters of no objection before, after bidding, commercial bidding, financial bidding, and, so I've had course also, to take up matters on procurement with some government agencies. And looking at the states level, and I discovered that most times you find out that it is what the governor wants, that the governor wants to build school. He just announced, and then procurement processes are bypassed. So I was kind of, impressed that, oh, look, so these people have something similar to Bureau of Public Procurement that you have. And so those were the two, mixed feelings I have. But also, I feel the letter should have been self-explanatory instead of that just, Endsars, mass burial for Endsars. As a lawyer, these are matters, legal matters, clinical matters, health matters. This event, according to the release, happened, and then the pathologist, Professor Obafua, yes, Lagos State Teaching Hospital Chief Pathologist, according to his testimony, because I followed that panel report, the sitting, and then I also, read extensively the content of the report.
Now, sorry to cut you. Now that you're talking about Professor Obafua, I was going to ask you, because I also followed that, and he specifically said 99 bodies were recovered from across the state. But now we're talking about 103.
Yeah, he said that, his testimony, he said that 99 bodies were recovered across the state, and that there were, then there were about 3 others subsequently recovered. It specifically mentioned, if you remember, please permit me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he specifically mentioned, yes, he said, Fagba, Ketu, Ikorodu, Orile, Ajegule, Abulegba, Ikeja. Orile, you remember where police said there was a clash between police and some hoodlums. Ikeja, Ojota, Ekoro, Ogba, Isolo, and about 3 to 4 bodies were subsequently recovered in that Aja Aziz, if you remember. So the 99 bodies were from across various areas in the mainland area, and then 3 from the island area. So if you put all of those figures together, I think that's how they arrived at the 103, because he specifically mentioned 99 from the mainland. And so that's why I also said that the report ought to have been explicit. It ought to have flow from the testimony or the conclusion of the panel, which was taken from the testimony of the chief pathologist, that these bodies that were recovered from across Lagos State. And then secondly, I told you there's a clinical matter and legal matters, because these are relatives, these are human beings, the huge number, you would say, dead, unfortunate, but they are not, you can't just go bury. There are procedures, and these procedures would be that you must first and foremost, like we are talking about procurement processes also, you must first and foremost also publish for claims and objection, asking people who lost loved ones or who have missing persons you know, to come identify and then probably carry out DNA.
I think that's
you know,
one of it, yes.
Yes. And so to ensure that people who are actually collecting these bodies are actually the owners of those bodies. And so after you made such publication, you won't be in a hurry to dispose of the body. And also, you can't just keep those bodies, you know, ad infinitum for years. You know, there'll be conjecture. People are looking for mortuary morgues to deposit, you know, loved ones. And then Lagos State government had said we mopped up bodies after crisis in Lagos, and then you kept these bodies for 2, 3, and then after 2 years, people have still not come. You can't just keep them like that.